How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. One of the problems that people sort of face into when they quit drinking first is that they sometimes forget that they're not drinking, that they don't drink anymore, and it can happen sort of at any time, either as a thought or an action. You walk into a pub, walk into a restaurant, you sat down with your friends, and the waiter comes around to the table, and probably the same waiter that's served you before, or maybe you sat at the same table before, maybe you certainly sat in the same restaurant before, so there's a lot of habitual stuff in here. And you'll find sometimes that when the waiter says to you, what do you want to drink, that the response that's locked and loaded in your mind and ready to fire off is a glass of red wine, please, or a bottle of beer, or a pint of Guinness in my what I used to ask for. So, just because that's happening and because that is loaded, it doesn't mean anything, It just means that it's part of the habitual behaviour that was already there. And it's trying to reassert itself, I talked about this in a video I did a couple of years ago about habit memories, where, out of the blue, a memory will just pop up of something, and you'll talk to somebody, or you'll put yourself into a certain situation, and all of a sudden this overwhelming desire to have a drink will pop up in your head, or like this. And it's basically that idea. It's like this the habit is there, and it's sort of priming itself in the background. All the little triggers are happening well before a conscious trigger comes into your mind, and it's there ready to sort of push forward, and to push you into that behaviour. That's what a habit is, it's what a habit does. So drinking thinking is the same sort of thing, just thinking about boozing and forgetting that you don't drink anymore is part of the system. I remember years ago when I was in Germany with my brother. We were doing summer jobs. I think I was 19 or 20, anyway, young lad. And my nan, my mum's mother, had died a couple of years before that, and I remember feeling really ashamed when this girl asked me, where we came from and stuff like that, and I was telling her about the family, and then she asked about my grandparents, and I said, yeah, my nan lives in London and stuff, and I was talking about her like she was still alive, and I felt really bad about it, but it was just a fact of life, This is what, sometimes you forget things, you're preoccupied with something else. At the time, it was a girl that I fancied, and that was taking my attention. I didn't really, and I actually said to her a couple of minutes later. I said, you know what? I said, I'm after telling you about my gran, but she died a couple of years ago. So yeah, that's just a fact. So don't worry about drinking thinking. Don't worry about forgetting that you don't drink anymore. Just accept the thought. Go, yeah, that's it. That happened. Move on. And just get on with your life. Don't give it any more thought than that, Certainly don't be saying to yourself, yeah, it sort of proves that I'm an alcoholic, or that I shouldn't be, like I can't do this. It doesn't prove anything. It just proves that your mind is working, as it should do. So just keep that in mind as you're going forward. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. Don't think anything more into it than forgetting that you're not a drinker is just it's just a thought. Makes no difference. Move on. I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Stay safe, keep the alcohol out your mouth, and onwards and upwards. Good luck to you. Take care.